ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Okay. So today we begin Vyakarana, Rachanānuvādakaumudī. In the next 20 minutes or so, we just see an introduction to this book, why we study this book, who studies it generally, and so on. And please mute when not talking. And we will also see the logistics, some logistical details on when we can have this session going forward and so on. So first question, what is Vyakarana, why Vyakarana? I'm sure both of you already know enough about this, but still. Vyakarana is one of the 6 Veda Angas in the big system, in the big picture. When we see, there is Shruti, Smriti, Purana. Shruti forming part of the Vedas. Outside of the Vedas, there is of course Smriti, which we also take as Pramana in the case of, for example, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and so on. Or Purana like Srimad Bhagavata Purana, other Purana, Shiva Purana, Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, whatever. On top of this, there are 6 Veda Angas. Anga, Veda Anga, iti Vedanga. The parts of the Veda, but not really part of it, we take them along with it. Shiksha, Kalpa, Nirukta, Vyakarana, Chanda, Jyotisha. Each by a different Maharishi, different contributors to each of these have been given. Vyakarana, grammar, is the main proponent of Vyakarana has been Maharishi Panini Maharishi, who has written the Ashtadhyayi, 4,000 sutras that if anybody is joining Swamiji's classes in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, etc., for example, in the beginning, sometimes some people chant sutras. One of these 4,000 sutras are chanted. So Panini Maharishi has written 4,000 sutras on Vyakarana, on different types, on the Shabda formation of different words, on the definition. Some sutras are rules, some sutras are for Sandhi, some sutras are for complexes. We will see all that in this text also in the next few months. But Panini's Ashtadhyayi is very long, and it is the ultimate, it is the complete Vyakarana text, and it is a bit advanced. So it is not so easy to understand Panini's Ashtadhyayi, but if the Ashtadhyayi is studied, it has massive benefit to Vedanta study. For instance, if Vyakarana itself is studied, in Viveka Chudamani especially, he writes in the beginning also, Medhavi Purusho Vidvan Uha Poha Vichakshana, 16th shloka I think. This is Viveka Chudamani number 16th. Medhavi Purusho Vidvan Uha Poha Vichakshana Adhikaryatma Vidyayam Ukta Lakshana Lakshitaha. A person who is an Adhikari of Atma Vidya. If you want to study Atma Vidya, somebody who is becoming the Adhikari for Atma Vidya will have to be Vidvan and Uha Poha Vichakshana. Medhavi Purusho Vidvan Uha Poha. So Vidvan here talks about Vyakarana. Uha Poha talks about Nyaya, Mimamsa, etc. So Bhashyakara Bhagavan says in Viveka Chudamani, somebody who wants to study this Atma Vidya that is given in Viveka Chudamani traditionally is a knower of Vyakarana, Nyaya and Mimamsa. So even for that, from those times itself, Vyakarana has been given that importance. And it is required for real Vedanta. For example, even when we see, even on top of this Shabda Pramana that we can take from Bhagavad Padacharya, even in, and that is why we say Pada Vakya Pramana. Sometimes when a great Jnani or a sage or some Maharaja comes, Swamiji comes, is a Padavakya Pramana Paravara Parina. Padavakya Pramana is Padavakya Pramana are for Vyakarana, Nyaya and Mimamsa. Padavakya Pramana. So somebody who is a Vedanti, a true Vedanti, a true Atmajnani requires a basic understanding at least of Vyakarana as well as Nyaya and Mimamsa, but Vyakarana here. For example, even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, first shloka is, anybody remembers the first shloka fully?
Are you talking about Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre? Are we talking about...
Yes, Dharma Kshetre.
Ashocyan.
Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsavaha, Mamakaha Pandavasheva, Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. So in this, the first word, Dharma, to understand this word also, Vyakarana has some context of dharma. Vyakarana gives us a definition of dharma. In Kosha, for example, in the dictionary, it says dharayati iti dharma. How people say dharmo rakshati rakshita. Dharma is something that is protected and that protects. This understanding we get from Vyakarana. So why should we study Vyakarana? Many people have this question when we first start studying different Vedanta Grantha. They say, Vyakarana is too much for me. I don't want to know all this extra information. But this is why Vyakarana gives us an understanding of this Vedanta and gives us an introduction. And to be honest, even when we read our mantra, shloka, bhashya, etc., tika, we see the importance of Vyakarana. Why, which vibhakti, even in Swamiji's classes so many times this comes, which vibhakti is this? Panchami vibhakti, which vachana? Pratama, eka vachana, which purusha, pratama purusha, eka vachana, whatever. All this comes very often in Vyakarana. So by learning Vyakarana, reading of Bhashya, Tika, etc. becomes easier as well. There are people who study even with the Samskrita Bharati, this new Mataji Pushpa Dikshit, Paushpiya Vyakarana is there. There are there is Vyoma school of Sanskrit school who all teach Ashtadhyayi. There is one group in Samskrita Bharati who have been studying Vyakarana Panini's Ashtadhyayi since 2015 and they're still not finished. They're still going. 9 years, starting the 10th year. So people can study, it's a lifelong thing if we want to. There is enough to study. But we take what is really enough, sufficient, required for our real purpose, our real prayojana, which is to understand Jiva Brahma Aikya from the Vedantic context. Even Yamacharya says in Kathopanishad, right? Naisha tarkena matirapaneya proktan yenaiva sujnanaya preshtha yan tvamapasatya dhritir batasi twadringno bhuyan nachiketaha prashtha. Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. Just tarka, only nyaya, etc. will not give atmajnana. But nyaya is required to understand the Vedantic, the Upanishadic statements can be fully understood when nyaya, vyakarana, etc. are fully understood. So they are, nyaya, mimamsa, vyakarana are considered to be even like, according to Bhashyakara, along at the same level as sadhana chatushtaya to understand Atma Vidya. For a real lifelong student of Atma Vidya, Nyaya, Mimamsa and Vyakarana are kept at that level. So now we see Vyakarana. In Vyakarana, as we saw, Ashtadhyayi is the... Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
And 1 second, sorry. If there's any question...
Akashi, can we just very simply... Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. If there is any question, interrupt at any time. Okay? Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We already took that liberty. So, look, Nyaya as grammar is very clear. Give us a couple of words on how we'll exactly define Mimamsa.
Sure. Nyaya and Vyakarana, you said, are clear. Mimamsa...
We said Vyakarana is grammar, right?
Correct.
Nyaya is logic, tarka.
Correct. Yes.
And Mimamsa, what would be a one word, simple word that defines Mimamsa?
This is the thing. There is no simple word. You can have a few words. There is not one word. That's the problem of translation when we say. Mimamsa, we can say, in Sanskrit, the definition of Mimamsa is Pujita Vichara. The Pujita Vichara is Mimamsa. Pujita Vichara meaning a worshipful inquiry. A worshipful inquiry is probably the translation. We inquire into the Vedas, into the Karma Kanda especially, specifically the Karma Kanda of the Vedas, and we see, what actions should be done at what time, for what purpose, etc., etc. So, Vyakarana. Pujita Vichara.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. Thank you.
And Mimamsaka, you will know this probably because of Kathopanishad, etc. But Mimamsakas try to make any jnana statement into some karma. So Mimamsa is all about the karma kanda of the Vedas. Okay.
Correct. No, that's fine. Thanks, Akash. Thank you.
Throat is blocked. Okay. So
Surya Prakashji drop out.
Yes, he will come back. Yes, he will return, or maybe there was some connection issue with him. No worries. He has the link. He will return if he is meant to.
Oh, okay.
In Vyakarana, we were seeing Panini's 4,000 sutras in the Ashtadhyayi. There are shortcuts to the Ashtadhyayi. Over the last few years, we're starting at the biggest picture so that when we get to our book, we understand why we are coming to this step. Ashtadhyayi is 4,000 sutras. There are shorter. Patanjali Maharishi has written a Mahabhashya on Ashtadhyayi. Katyayani Maharishi has written a Vartika on Ashtadhyayi. So when we see the Ashtadhyayi.com app, we have the Sutra and then the Vartika and the Mahabhashya. On top of this, there is a Siddhanta Kaumudī book written as a shortcut to the Ashtadhyayi. There is an even shorter cut, Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudī, which many people study. And what we will see now is Rachanānuvādakaumudī. Rachanānuvādakaumudī is something that is taught in some places in 6th standard and 7th standard also, and also until an MA in Sanskrit and even PhD in Sanskrit. When we reach a PhD level, generally the Ashtadhyayi is seen, but the Rachanānuvādakaumudī is taught even until the MA level, even at the central Sanskrit universities in India and so on. So it is a complete text that is used by people of many levels in Sanskrit, and there are 3 different books in Rachanānuvādakaumudī. There is a Prarambhika Rachanānuvādakaumudī, a beginners. There is a Madhyama Rachanānuvādakaumudī, and there is a Praudha, advanced Rachanānuvādakaumudī. The books that we shared on WhatsApp, the first one was the Madhyama, and the one earlier today, that is Prarambhika. What we're going to do is really just follow the books in the next few months. It is said that if somebody were to read the Prarambhika properly, even a complete beginner to Sanskrit, if even 1 hour per day is given to Prarambhika Rachanānuvādakaumudī, it can finish in 2-3 months. And then there is Madhyama and Praudha as per the difficulty and capability level. It's not a thing that requires a long-term commitment like the Ashtadhyayi. It does finish quickly. And at the same time, it gives us an idea of how to read, where to split words, things like that. Okay. Did you have the book with you already? The second one? You've downloaded it.
Yeah. Both Pratambika and both and Madhyama is both with me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So Prarambhika, we see that first. We're just going to see the contents page today, and then we will see when to meet next. But our sessions for now are just going to be 30 minutes long. We're not going to have very long ones. And after the contents, we'll discuss that further. So. Contents.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So in the contents
I have the Vishaya Suchi here.
Vishaya Suchi. Correct. So in the Vishaya Suchi, you'll see there are the 2 pages, front and back. In this Prarambhika Rachanānuvādakaumudī is arranged in such a way that there are exercises in the beginning, and then there is, so the first page, Vivarana, is full of abhyasa. There are 30 abhyasas.
Yeah.
Sort of like exercises to see, how to form sentences, where to split, and so on. If you turn the page, the next page, the Parishishta Vyakarana, Shabdarupa Sangraha, is the Shabda. So each Vibhakti, we'll come to that, you probably know this already, but each Vibhakti of each Shabda. Sankhyaye, numbers, and Dhaturupa Sangraha, verbs. Verbs, how verbs decline, and so on. Sandhi, Samasa, Vichara, Pratyaya Vichara. Sandhi, joining, breaking. Samasa, complexes. Pratyaya, there are different pratyas. Here there are 10 given. And then some other Suchita Vishaya are given. Anuvādata Graha, Gadya Sangraha, Nivadna Sangraha. That we will see when we have to get there. The main thing here is, we see the 30 abhyasas on this page, on the Vivarana page. And then we will see the Shabda Rupa. By the time we get to the Shabda Rupa, for example, Rama Shabda, we say 8 Vibhaktis. Pratama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami. Such 8 Vibhaktis are given for all these Shabdas with Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana. So Ramaha would be Ramaha. If we talk about Rama as a subject, Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. Rama went to the Vana. Or there are 2 Ramas, Ramau Vanam Gacchataha. So Gacchati also has a Dvivachana. And then Ramaha Vanam Gacchanti, or something else. Some Bahuvachana Prayoga is used. So this Prarambhika Rachanānuvādakaumudī is going to help us do this. Make sentences, learn when to split, so that when we read the Bhashya and Tika, we learn, okay, which Vibhakti is this. Even today in Brihadaranyaka, there was a long discussion on, we were seeing Vang, Mana and Prana of Hiranyagarbha Upasaka in Brihadaranyaka first chapter. Panchanna, Saptanna, the last 3 annas. 3 anna, Vang, Mana, Prana. I say Panchami Vibhakti is why we have to interpret this mantra in this way. Because there have been wrong interpretations where the Panchami was not taken, but the Panchami is very clear in the Bhashya and the Tika and even in the mantra. So all this helps us, when we start reading the...
So, okay, on this one, what would be a simple definition of a Vibhakti? I mean, if we were to say it in English, what is a Vibhakti?
Yeah, there will be a definition that comes in this book, I think, later, of a specific thing about Vibhakti. Okay. But in English, if we were to say, the Vibhakti is the addition to a Pratipadika, a Shabda. The Moola Shabda of something is called a Pratipadika. So there will be a Rama Shabda. If we say Ramaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya is Chaturthi Vibhakti. Why? Because we say Namaha to Shiva. worship puja to Shiva. So Chaturthi Vibhakti governs the to and the for of a specific word. And for Shiva, Chaturthi will be Shivaya, because there is one Shiva that we take in Namah Shivaya. If there were multiple Shivas, then it will be a different word. But we take one. So Vibhakti is something like an addition to the Pratipadika, we can say.
Okay, fine.
And
this is where you will find that what you have estimated to be 2 months may take 4 months.
No, it was. So I didn't estimate 2 months. So 2 months is estimated. They say it can take as little as 2 months, or it can take, there are people who study this text alone for 2 years also. It's not like, it's not something that will end. So I don't think it will take 2 months. I think it will take longer, because I don't also think we're going to meet every day, at least until you come here. When we won't meet every day. We may meet 4 times. Today I was talking to Swamiji. He suggested 4 times a week is a good beginning. So we'll try to do 4 times a week at this time, 5 to 5:30 p.m. India time.
Sure.
Would you have certain specific days of the week that you are available if we did 4 times a week?
See, in a time like this for me, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays are all good. Okay. Saturday, Sunday, we take classes. So therefore, it's possible that I'll have to just check the schedule to say if we can still do this time. This is 11:30 to 12 for me in the winter months.
Yes.
And it will be 12 to 12:30 or 11:30 to 12. 12:30 to 1 for me in the summer months.
Yes.
Okay. So summer months mean after the end of March, but by that time I will already be there. So that becomes a bit irrelevant. So that's what it is. For me, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays are good, because Wednesday my cleaning lady comes, so she will be running around, but half an hour I can always steal away and sit somewhere. So if Wednesday is preferable to you, I can squeeze that in as well. So if we can do weekdays, that will be better for me than weekends.
That's good for me also. Because if just today morning, I told Swamiji, I don't want to do it on the weekend. So this is perfect. We can try to do 4 days a week before you come here. And you're okay on all 5 days, you said, except Wednesday. But you can figure it out even Wednesday.
No, all 5 days. See, like I said, Wednesday only the cleaning lady comes, so she will be a bit of run around, but half an hour I can always steal. It's not a problem.
Okay.
I can get her working in some other part and I can be sitting somewhere else. It's no problem.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Let's keep it flexible. All 5 days are good.
Okay. All 5 days are good. I'll let you know by the end of the day, or maybe tomorrow. We finalize which 4 days. But I think tomorrow we can have same time, second session.
Yeah, let's not have Dutiya Vigna. It's good to do.
Yes. Even though today is Navami, and ideally we don't start on Navami, but it's not a beginning, because you have already known, Vyakarana, the Sanskrit, and you read all the Vedantic texts. So it's not really a new beginning as such. Okay. So tomorrow, again, 5 p.m., we will see the Prarambhika Rachanānuvādakaumudī from the first page, from the first abhyasa.
Just one final question. See, one has obviously heard a lot of this Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudī, but Rachanānuvādakaumudī is, I'm really hearing it for the first time. Why would Swamiji suggest this text vis-a-vis Laghu? Is that an easier text to follow, or why is it he suggested this text?
The Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudī is a collection of specialized sutras.
Okay.
So when you read Laghu, there are so among the 4,000 sutras, Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudī takes a few, rearranges it, and says it in a new way, so that when you learn the sutra. In Rachanānuvādakaumudī, we won't see that many sutras. I don't think we'll see very few sutras, if at all. Rachanānuvādakaumudī is more about sentence formation, sentence splitting, understanding meaning, vibhakti, lakara, which lakara, lat lakara, lung lakara, rot lakara, etc. Which vibhakti, which linga, and things like this. So if this is done, then Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudī becomes very easy, if we want to do that. Or if you can do Ashtadhyayi in a year, that is ideal. In a year or two, that would be very ideal after this text.
That's fine. We will see that. We will have more of a discussion when I'm there. I think Surya Prakash ji has also joined anyway. It's a good sign. Yeah.
Yes. If there are any questions, of course, at any time, either of you can interrupt as you
Message.
We will, and message as well, available on message.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 5 p.m. again, we meet. Okay. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyavitau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.